Fantasy Pro, better known as Non-Keeper Football League, Flex Auction, Noob Tier. Always start your per reception owners. Week 12! We made it, guys. We are almost rounding out the season. I'm BJ Beemer here to bring it to you, and our guest again this week, straight from the male groin itself, Cole Ossal. Cole, welcome back, bro.
Thank you, man. It's been a good day in the gym, so I'm excited to work it out with you right now.
Oh, yeah? You've been eating those dumbbells for breakfast?
45-pound plates, yep.
I love it. Hey, shout out to the 1972 Dolphins. Congratulations, your record is safe. I just hope that while you were celebrating this weekend, you didn't haze anybody while you were popping that champagne down there in Miami.
Most likely not. That's how we do it in the NFL. But the media started it first. We are the victims to you guys, so...
You know,
cool.
America started hazing the rest of the world a long time ago, but that is a topic for another day. Let's talk about fantasy football here. We got some teams that have already qualified for the playoffs. What do they have to be happy about, Cole?
Well, they got to be happy that they can look at their playoff matchups and make sure they're not having any guys go against Seattle's defense, 49ers defense, even the Browns defense.
Yeah.
So if because the trading deadline is this week, you can trade those guys away and get some good value back with an easier playoff schedule.
There you go.
Do it.
There you go. Well, what about these teams? A lot of teams that still don't have a playoff spot, but they're fighting for it. They're still in the running. What do they have to look forward to?
No more Bob Costas passive-aggressive type bullying questions.
All right. Kudos. Look, 2 more games left. Let's get to these Cole Ossal bold predictions. Who are the pickups?
Well, I mean, if you've been listening to me and hashtag NFL Fantasy Pro and yourself, you know that your lineup is probably set already.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I said to get Chris Ivory. Did you? I don't know, because he had a big game this past week.
Good.
Just don't wash yourself with him. Doug Baldwin, I said to get a couple weeks ago. All he's done is had 2 great games in a row, and he's obviously the deep threat there. Percy Harvin's going to make them better.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've been listening, I think your team is already set. But what position do you want to cover first, BJ?
Well, wide receiver.
You're going to go wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, Doug Baldwin's still out there. You know, he's owned in less than 50% of all fantasy football leagues.
Yeah.
He's still out there. I know you like Crabtree, isn't that right?
I like Crabtree. I think, they need him in San Francisco.
They do.
Kaepernick needs to throw to someone consistent, and I think he's really going to come out guns blazing for the playoff run.
Yeah, since week 2, from all the regular starting quarterbacks, Kaepernick is the worst quarterback statistically of the whole league. So that's all you got to say about that. I mean, if you have an extra roster spot, pick up Crabtree.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier about Santonio Holmes. Not a good season whatsoever, but you think he's going to come on here, huh?
I caught a little crow from calling him out earlier in the season, saying that he was going to be the guy to step up. But guess what? The Jets still don't have a passing offense.
Yeah.
They have a running offense now. They're fighting for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to get targets. He's healthy. He's back. I think you got to like him. If you don't want to start him this week and see what he does, fine, but pick him up.
Yeah. Well, what about running back, Donald Brown of the Colts? What do you think?
Trent Richardson has 2.8 yards per carry. End of conversation.
That's it. The Browns, geniuses for that move. They looked like idiots when they made that, but it's really coming on strong.
As much as I hate to say it, being a lifetime Steelers player fan, yeah, the Browns look geniuses.
Now look at this. What about Bryce Brown with the Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, he was all the rave for about 10 minutes there when LaShawn McCoy went down. He's not really a factor now, but do you think he could be a factor in these next few weeks for the playoffs?
The fan of 2013 should still be a handcuff if you have McCoy.
Sure.
If you haven't had him all year long and you've been skating on thin ice, well, now you have your wake-up call. So pick him up. And if you have an extra roster spot, like we said earlier about Crabtree, pick him up because you know he can put up the stats as long as he holds onto the ball.
What about, I got to ask you, Cole, your opinion, what's going on in Houston with the QB situation? Keenum looked like the guy. He did, and then they put Schaub in. What's going on?
Yeah, they put Schaub in, and he imploded that offense. The issue when Keenan was in was the offensive line. He didn't have a bad game. They just tried to spice something up. It was Schaub's last hurrah. He's gone, and Keenan's the guy. I mean, you got to fire him up this week. He has a favorable schedule against Jacksonville. If you don't like him, look at Fitzgerald with Tennessee. He's resurging there right now. Because the other guys you get to choose from is Roethlisberger, it's Jason Campbell. They got tough defensive matchups. Go with Case or Fitzgerald.
There you go. Guys, that's the advice we have for you. Week 12. We're going to be here next week talking about the last regular season week We will also be hungry for our Thanksgiving dinner and hungry for this advice. Cole, thank you so much for joining us again. I hope we're going to get you back in here before the season is out. I'm sure that we will.
If I have time away from the gym, we'll see.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. #NFL Fantasy Pro. Same time, same channel next week. Bye-bye.